So I guess I'll be quick and brief. I started doing this back in October, so I haven't really. I don't think I have too much time under my belt, but I will say that after meeting with you guys weekly, there's definitely an increased level of confidence, and I think that just comes from a better understanding of like just knowing what I'm talking about, and then from there understanding what to say in certain moments, certain conversations based off who you're talking to. And I think just taking that and continuing to have the ball roll and hopefully, be in a better position this time next year.
Love it, man.
Yeah, so I would definitely, I'd say the biggest takeaway I had was about the idea of just, you just got to ask. You can look at, someone's age, maybe all the different stuff that's on their account there and be like, yeah, I don't really know if they would actually want this. But, just bring it up anyway. You're not going to know unless you have notes in there if you ask about it. So like my wildly important goal for the 8 weeks was all about pivots, and so that's just what I've been doing. Every single call is trying to pivot to something. And I'd say one I'm most proud of is an internet lead that I had where I called him up, was just starting with the auto conversation. He was like, well, I don't even have a car. And I was like, okay. And I used the line of that's not all we do here, and ended up submitting a life app for him. So awesome. It's again just you gotta ask, you gotta give it a shot every time.
I think the biggest thing out of this run right here, I think the consistency of everything, dumbing it down a little bit, not taking everything so seriously when I'm talking to everyone, and not feeling, it's more of educating people instead of chasing a sale. Whereas before it was just, how am I get this closed? I need to get this closed. Just if all I can get is the car, where now it's, I get a car, health, life, home, club, PAP, I'm going through everything. So even if it's not something I close, the relationship is built to where in 6 months when I call back up, if we're anywhere, closer or less than we were before, I feel pretty confident. Like when I get done talking to people now, they're like, hey, please reach out to me in 6 months. Please reach out to me in a year. Let's do this again. We appreciate you going through everything, just educating them on it. Whereas, like I said before, they were just a dollar sign. I was just trying to close something and it was whatever. So, all right, I'm gonna stop before I swear.
So one thing that I really gathered from it is that level of confidence. So this week is actually my 1 year here at State Farm. And not only is it a huge difference from a year ago, it's a huge difference even from 8 weeks ago. I have a higher level of that confidence. Like I mentioned before, I feel a lot more comfortable with talking not just about life insurance, but any products. The last 3 weeks has been an extremely successful week for me, or time frame for me. And I guess I don't think that I would have had this level of confidence that I currently have, right now, if I didn't, go through this course and take everything that I have learned and implement that into my daily activities here at work and even outside of work. It's really been extremely successful for me. And I guess I just don't think I would be here in this position if I didn't attend this course. So it's been really nice.
I have been the quiet one. So glad to finally.
Not anymore.
We have a large open office here and like clients coming in. And I'm just, don't want you guys to hear all that. But yeah, I've been back with State Farm about 6 months now before being more service, getting a lot of sales, through the pivots. The last 6 months been just pounding a ton of EverQuote leads, which can be soul crushing. At times, and I think we're going to come off that here in April and back into the sweet spot. But I struggled to pivot to anything off of a price shopping, auto lead that we were purchasing. And I think what really shifted for me is when we went through the 10-step sales process. And a key part on that was setting the agenda and checking for support. Hey, you know what? For the next several minutes, I'm going to ask you a lot of boring questions. We're going to find out the insurance needs of your household because that's truly what we cover here. And does that make sense? And are you okay with that? Okay, let's go. You're getting that buy-in. You're letting them know. I did that yesterday. I had a corrections worker who was on the job, probably watching a bunch of screens. And hey, if you need to go for any reason, that's great. But here's what we're going to do for the next few minutes. Yeah, let's do it. And, going to be writing at least the home auto, talk live, talked income replacement through short-term disability. Again, didn't buy into either of those, but at least we made those pivots while she's on the job, working in a jail. So, I just thankful there's so many other different things, but that for me has been the huge takeaway, to not make excuses for why we can't pivot, or this is just this kind of call. there's such thing as this is just this kind of call. This is our agency's kind of call, and this is what we do. We want to cover the whole household.
No, obviously it took a lot more on this class, just knowing more, but also fresh out of the box the last time we went through it. But one of the biggest things is that we can all be super confident in what we do. We all run into super intelligent people that I think can try to make us feel uncomfortable, but we are professional, and we have a lot of things that, in ways to put it in perspective, that they haven't thought about the coverages that they need. And that was a big thing that has helped me a lot. It's just being really confident in what we do, because it is important, and it isn't, and I think we get back in the corner that it should be 15 minutes or less, which is super untrue. And then the second thing is referrals are so much funner to work than anything else. So referrals is a lot, but on top of that, activities produce results. So making a ton of calls is super important, and and don't look at it as a bad thing when they slam the phone on you or ugly to you, because it comes back around, and we've seen that at our agency. 6 months in, I feel like every month I'm closing 2 or 3 houses that I didn't even remember talking to, and so it's just by following back up. So yeah, man, it's all really good stuff once again, and I appreciate it.
More than ready whenever you guys want. But not to piggyback on pretty much everything that's been said, but the main takeaways I took from this program was being consistent with the process. We just touched on, setting that agenda. I work with a ton of internet leads, and I found it's pretty much impossible to sell them anything if you don't set them that agenda, because they're just so price focused. And if you're not going to save them money, they're not going to listen to anything you have to say. So I find, that's a major step that I definitely incorporated early on once I started this program, and I found night and day difference when speaking to internet leads. And then also just being confident with all your pivots and all your questions. I took a call last week. She was calling to complain about the way her glass claim was handled on her car. By the end of the phone call, we had submitted an application for her homeowners to give her the multi-line discount, and also a life insurance application to protect her mortgage. And just to add on that real quick, I got my license for life back in August. I didn't sell anything until I started this course, and I sold 2 so far throughout these 8 weeks. So I'm looking to build on that moving forward. So thank you guys for all the advice and everything that we've learned so far.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Hey, so for me, I'm a beginner. I got started in November, but 3 things that really helped me a lot with this program were the 10-step process, also the triangle of protection, and what I liked as well is the pivoting to disability and HI. And those are things that for me as a beginner were huge, because they opened the conversation with everybody in a very smooth way. So those are some important factors for me as a beginner, and I want to thank you for that, because it improved me so much. On January, I started in November, but on January, that's when I started seeing a lot of difference. And from January, I tripled my premium on February. So that shows a lot of improvement. So I'm grateful for that, and thank you again for everything, guys.
Okay, I don't unmute myself. So I do work with Lorne, and I got to tell you, my shout out for me, but I'm giving Lorne a shout out. Hearing him talk to those internet leads the way he does, he is doing a great job. And I do more of the in-book. So what I got for dealing with the in-book, and I got to say right from the beginning, the idea of the gratitude and building that value it's really good. When you're dealing with someone who's a part of your agency and you say, hey, we appreciate you, it does set the tone in a very positive way. And then from there, the conversation can be, you can really uncover some things. And I also have to piggyback and say, you know what, I don't sell anything. That's not my job. My job is to make sure that, we educate, and it's up to our client to, at the end of the day, figure that out, or at least we know what our job is, and that is at least bring up the gaps and those potential problems. So, what I got out of this was just extraordinary new ways to engage our clients and bring these things up. And I know on Tuesday you wanted me to talk about some of the pivots. Like I've gotten a couple of life insurance policies. I use that pivot. I see we have an offer here for this much money for life. What do you want to do? Which I would say, pretty much, would you like to apply that? That got me 2. And last week I got a $34,000 business policy just from pivoting to, I see we got blank, blank, and X. How come we don't have your business policy? And he said, quote it. And then we wrote it. So Thank you guys. And I look forward to continue with my pivots. Having a pivot goal of 7 every day, whether it's life, whether it's disability, whether it's seeing something else, a referral, Google reviews. That's every day I go in with that mindset of we're pivoting today, that's for sure.
Hi, everybody.
What's up, Sue?
Hey, I just wanted to share a couple of quick things with you. I've been with State Farm for about 5 years, and two of the things I've always been working on is referrals and life insurance, trying to get better at both those things. And I would say my referrals, since I started this program, have more than doubled. And some of that is friends, some of it is customers, some of it is some social media things that I do. But also the life insurance, I've been trying to go deeper. Yesterday we had a former customer call, and she had 2 cars, an umbrella, and a fire policy with us before. And she had gone to Progressive, was coming up for a renewal. And they actually, I think, had canceled her the last few days. I don't know if she missed a payment, but her policy ended February 25th. So I was talking to her, and I was like, well, what products do you have with Progressive right now? And I probably wouldn't have asked her that before. And all she had were her autos. So I'm like, I'm saving you money. I'm giving you this, an umbrella, a renter's policy. And I said, one last thing, let's talk about life insurance. We didn't have life insurance for you before. Do you and your husband have anything outside of work? And she said, no, we have a policy through work. And I started talking to her a little bit. And I guess she had some documents there. And she started looking at it, and she's like, wow, this is only like an accidental life insurance policy. We talked about that for a little bit. I tried to do an app on the phone with her, but she wants to have her and her husband both come in together and do the life. And then just one quick last thing, I had another customer that came in my office for an appointment, and I was doing his autos and his home policy. And I started talking to him about life, and at one time I probably would have backed away from this, to be honest with you. He was Muslim, and a lot of times in Muslims, they have an objection to life insurance. So, and he shared a little bit about that with me. And I was like, well, if something happens, you said you're the main provider for your mother and your wife, both live with you and you have a child. Who's going to take care of them? And at one time, I never would have said that, because I'd be afraid I was going to offend him, and I ended up writing him a life insurance policy, got issued, and that really made me feel good that, he's about 29 years old, this man's family is protected. So it's really been a big help to me to go further. Some things that, I wanted to work on before, just help increase my ability and my confidence and my desire to work on. So I thank you guys.
I've benefited the most from this, probably from the things that I didn't think that were going to be most important going in. And that was stuff outside of work. I started doing a gratitude journal. I've got I just set myself up on better daily habits. And honestly, I think that's been the stuff that I've benefited the most from. I think I'm just in a better headspace when I'm at work. I'm more clear and more focused. And so at first I kind of thought, well, I don't know why we're even talking about that in this, but I really do think that it's been the thing that's benefited me the most. And but other things too. I mean, I think that's the most important thing that's been for me. But just overcoming objections. I used to get so discouraged, especially when you call someone and they immediately no, I'm good. I just, okay, well, bye, and just so easily discouraged. And just this morning I had someone called, she said, no, I'm good. And my response was, so if we could get you better value on your insurance, you wouldn't be interested? And bam, I think we're going to close her Monday. So it's things that I benefited the most from are things that at first I was wondering why we're even doing that and talking about that. So thank you. It's been it's been a very good experience. I've really enjoyed it.
I jump on every call so I can support the team and support you guys, but I got to tell you,
I love it.
What you did the last 8 weeks with my 2 team members is phenomenal. We are so blessed to have you out there, bud. You're doing a lot for everybody.
I appreciate that, and I love you like a brother. Didn't realize you were on all the calls. I would have.
Yes, I am.
And I will counter that with we didn't do anything. We did our thing. They're the ones that put in the work. So all the kudos to them.
Well, thanks to you, and a humble brag, but we had the best month we ever had. We did 226 last month, thanks to Trent and Vinny and what they were doing with you. So I'll leave it at that, and I'll let you guys go. But you guys are rock stars.
I think this sheet was great. This one right here.
Yep.
I love this sheet. I wrote $1 million life policy a couple weeks ago. Never in my life. I thought, I can't believe I did this, and I'm so glad Glenn put us in this class. And I work out 3 times a week, which I've been doing anyway, and trying to drink more water and staying away from negative people. And my desk is more organized. There's not paper everywhere. And it's been probably one of the best classes I've been in. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Nancy. Congratulations on the policy.
Yeah.
Just winning on every level. In shape, hydrated, selling $1 million term policies, just killing it.
Yeah, it's, I hate that we're ending today, but.
We're not ending, you're with us.
Nancy,
Jumping on the
come on
Tuesday.
through again. You're in the Facebook group with us. You don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah. So it's been good. I've learned more at this agency and with Will and Suzanne than the other place I work. It's been really good.